Yeah, I'm Eddie Eastman. My company's called Startup Streams. I started selling on Flippa in August 2019. So still feel quite new to all that sort of the Flippa side. But I have used it a couple of times in the past. I started my first business when I was 12 years old. It was an online business, and I was selling skateboard stickers, which I made on my home computer, designing my home computer. Then bought some like sticky paper and sold them at school. Then I ended up selling them online. And then from there, really, I sort of like hooked on online entrepreneurship and been doing. I've always had some sort of business, like side hustle on the go. And then probably 5 or 6 years ago, I started a large project for myself where I was making survival audiobooks. My first career was as a survival instructor. So like you might have seen like Bear Grylls and Ray Mears teaching, how to live off the land, that kind of thing. So what I did was create a series of audiobooks. And then after a while I got, I think like a lot of entrepreneurs do with their early businesses, they got absolutely fed up with it. I've got pretty fed up with it. And I said, oh, okay, I'll move on, do different projects. And then went to sell the website, and that's how I discovered Flippa. So I managed to sell my first website then about 5 or 6 years ago, I think now.
Wow.
Then had some other businesses on the go in the meantime, including my brother. We founded a company called Olympus, which makes jeans for they're athletic fit jeans. So they're designed specifically for guys who go to the gym a lot or play a lot of rugby, a lot of rowing. And it's actually quite an increasing problem where guys just typically can't go into H&M or your average high street store and buy jeans which actually fit their legs.
Oh, I don't have these problems, but I appreciate that somebody else does.
Yeah, so it was a sort of a niche. Then it got funded by Richard Branson's enterprise scheme, I think 2 or 3 times. So that's going strong. But I came away from that. I just helped my brother set that up a bit. He's going really strong with that. So that's still going. And then I was so this time last year I was looking to join the British Army. So again, going back to like the outdoor sort of yeah, either concentrating on outdoor stuff or indoor doing website design. So
Yeah, those are very different.
Yeah, so they don't really complement each other, but it's just like a good sort of balance, I suppose, of being outdoors and then being indoors at a computer screen. So yeah, I was looking to do that, but unfortunately I couldn't join that because I have a nut allergy. And they won't let you join any of the armed forces, even in like America, Canada, anywhere with a nut allergy.
Oh, that's the greatest weakness of the armed forces?
Yeah,
Apparently.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, in case people start throwing peanuts at you in the trenches. So then I decided to come traveling. Came to Indonesia exactly this time last year. It's been a year since I came here, and then met Nadia, who's my girlfriend here in Indonesia. And what I wanted to do was find a business because I was unemployed when I came out here. I just had some savings and just wanted to do a travel. And I wanted to set up an online business which could allow me to live out here, which is why I have managed to do so well this year. That's why I created Startup Streams. So it's like a typical case of writing down what you're good at, what you don't like to do. And I always really enjoy doing the startups of companies.
Right.
I really enjoy like doing the starting, doing the logos and the branding and setting up a website. I love doing that, but I hate the marketing. I either leave it to someone else to do or outsource it, but that's just not what I enjoy doing. So yeah, that's when I came up with the idea of Startup Streams and just make websites which are suited for like new people, new entrepreneurs, new people wanting to get into e-commerce, and might be the opposite of my skill set. And that's definitely the case. When I speak to a lot of my customers, they don't know how to set up a business, don't know how to set up the website, do the graphic design, but they got a background in digital marketing. So our sort of skill sets complement each other.
Right.
And that's sort of how my business has grown and grown month on month since I started in August.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. You're right on the money when it comes to the types of people on Flippa. You have a lot of people who are kind of starters, as you like to say. You love kind of coming with the idea, coming with the brand, putting a few things together, and then you have a lot of people who like just really love putting together complicated Facebook ad targeting campaigns, or love like figuring out how you get backlinks for your SEO. And that's crazy. So you only started working with Flippa, you said February 2019, so just over a year ago?
No, the first business.
I mean,
was like
for the startup streams, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, startup streams. This just started in August, so 7 months now.
Wow, because I know
I'm 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not all through startup streams, but I know you have 109 transactions listed. So, which is why you're obviously one of our super sellers, as we say. 100% feedback, 109 transactions. Most people probably only have maybe 2 or 3 transactions. You're about 50x that.
Yeah,
so pretty cool.
I think it's quite easy for me to do to get those sort of stats for my businesses, obviously, because they're duplicate template websites. It's not as easy as like just going copy and paste on a file and there you go, you got a new website to sell. It does take a bit of skill and effort to set each one up. But I've sort of streamlined the process, so I can sell each of the websites I have like once a month, etc. And then the plan is to come out of a brand new business, to sell a brand new concept every week. But I'm just like setting some things up. I'm doing like my own marketing to try and promote my my listings as well.
Right.
So I'm just setting that up. But when that launching a new business every week, then that will just exponentially grow month on month, as it already has been. I've got 16 different websites at the moment, which I list at least once a month.
Yeah, I think you need to update your LinkedIn and just put these all as new businesses that you're launching once a week. You'll have the longest CV in history.
yeah, true.
So I was looking at it a bit. Do you only work with Shopify sites, or are you doing other things as well? It's only Shopify. And is it all? It looks like it's mostly or all digital based products. No real.
So when I first started out, there weren't any digital products. I think one of the first ones I did. No, that's a lie. The first one I did was a digital product one. You might have seen. I'm not sure if you're familiar with you've seen the stores. One of my ones is like a mental strength ebook.
Okay.
So that was a business I was looking to pursue full time as like a standalone business. I wasn't looking to sell that. That was this time last year. I launched it, and that's like an ebook which I wrote with some other people I know, all about like how like, the army teach mental strength and like the sort of techniques they use. And I wrote the ebook, designed it all, had the business, and then when I decided to do the startup streams, that's my first duplicate store, and then I did a drop shipping store, which I'm sure you've seen time and time again on Flippa.
Right.
Whenever you like type in Shopify on YouTube, it's all about drop shipping, shipping things from wherever, mainly from AliExpress and China.
Yeah.
And I probably didn't come up with a concept. I've already figured out like the drop servicing angle. So instead of making products, selling products, you're selling services. So you're finding freelancers on Fiverr or freelancers elsewhere, and you're selling their graphic, like their logo design or their Facebook ads, services. So you're selling services rather than products. And then it sort of went from there. Then I was able to acquire some ebooks, just the content for them. Then I was able to make those into ebooks, design the website around it, and scale it up from there.
Right. Have you ever had, and you mentioned that the sort of mental health one or mental fortitude, however you refer to it, have you had other ones that you've built that you're kind of like actually want to keep for yourself rather than sell?
No, not so much. See, that was the first website I sold under my like startup streams. and that the amount of money, I think I sold it for like $500, and I was making that each month just from like trying to sell it on social media and stuff. So I thought, well, I listed this as a duplicate website. I can just do that easily every month. I can sell this website once a month, and then I can just do that. That's when I started to do the list. This is what I'm good at. Okay, well, instead of doing the marketing, which I've already mentioned, I don't enjoy doing the marketing. What I can do is just sell this business and just concentrate on making these sorts of businesses. But to answer the question, there is. You might have seen the digital greetings cards website. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have actually.
So I just started that in 2017. So I made like a card for a friend for a birthday. I didn't have like a card to give him. I remember his birthday on the day. To quickly design a card and put it on social media and tagged him in it. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's really good. Where did you get that from?" I was like, "Oh, well, I've designed it." And, "Oh, yeah, you should probably see, you can sell those." So, which I did. I sold them on Etsy, etc. But I just, again, wasn't very passionate about it to pursue it.
Right.
But that's one of my best sellers now. That's one of my best selling websites. So, yeah. So don't feel too bad about selling these on it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, as you said, you'd rather just get rid of it and not spend all the time building it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on who you are. Some people consider that the hard part. Some people consider what you're doing the hard part.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are just excited to just grab something and grow. Do you have like a typical customer that you see, or is it kind of across the board? I mean, do you know?
I try and get as much like information from my customers as possible. I try and like find out new products to make, etc. And whilst I'm deciding that, most of my customers are American based. So all of the products, all the websites I make are always in dollars. So they, the registered company is always in UK because that's where my company's based. Is the registered address. But I always put everything into dollars because the majority of people are looking at them from America. I can see that on the analytics for each website. And then some people are other. There's one super seller who buys my websites as well, and there's a couple of other I think there's 4 I'm aware of other Flippa sellers who buy my websites to flip them and sell them on.
So they're kind of buying them, building them up a little bit more, maybe running them for 6 months or something.
So they'll buy it, they'll do the marketing behind it, and then sell it on or keep it for themselves. Yeah, I'm definitely aware of those sorts of people, those sorts of customers I've built relationships with.
Interesting. It's like an entire economy within the Flippa platform.
Yeah. I list it on all my listings. I say, why would somebody want to buy a duplicate website? If you're new to it, you're thinking, oh, I don't want the same website as someone else. And then I list 5 reasons why you might want to do so. And one of those reasons I mention is you might want to flip this website on Flippa. And I have had people do that, which is great.
Yeah.
Because I always encourage people to customize my websites as much as possible. And when I see like another super seller doing it, who knows what they're doing, I can sort of use that as an example. Like you can do this if you wish to. So, apart from that, I'm not sure what other details I can really get from.
Yeah. Is there anything? What else do you kind of recommend to your potential buyers? Like, are you telling them like you should have these certain skills if you're going to pick one of these up, or?
No, not necessarily. From writing the mental strength book, actually, and then sort of analyzing when a lot of my friends and a lot of my brother's friends are like, oh, you're like running your own business online. I think it must be really easy. And then they give up within a first week or 2 or something. A lot of the benefit of being a partner with Shopify as well is I can see when somebody activates their website, and I also get notified when they close it. And I do get a lot of people who close it within a month because they don't make a sale within a month, which I understand can be very like disappointing if you just spend hundreds of dollars on a website and you're not making sales. And I've been there and done that multiple times, and it is you'd expect to see like good results within maybe 3 months if you stick at it. Which is why at the moment I'm looking at actually marketing my own stores to prove that they do sell. That's sort of the next step into to get proof of the website.
Proof of concept. Yeah, I understand.
Exactly. That. Yeah. So I do for all my websites. I wrote I call it the Startup Streams support pack, and in that it's got a section on mindset, and it's got lots of YouTube videos throughout it, and I actually link to what a growth mindset is, and this is sort of how you need to be able to think in order to grow it. You need to be able to like learn as you go, and you just say that I don't know everything, and then you need to go out and learn it all, whereas people are quite reluctant to do that.
Yeah.
And I can always tell when a website will succeed with a buyer before they buy it, because the people who ask me loads of questions about the businesses, they're the ones who go on and succeed with it. Whereas people who ask me questions, like 5 or 6 questions, and all the answers are on the listing page, and I know that they haven't even bothered to go and read it. I know each of my product listings, it's 2,000 words long for each website I have on Flippa, and I know that's a lot to read, especially if you're going through looking at loads of different websites. But you can sort of get an idea if someone's going to succeed with the website beforehand based on the questions they're asking. So I think that's the one thing I say is like the common denominator between all those who succeed, sort of the mindset, and actually perform the due diligence. Whereas digital marketing is definitely something anyone can pick up. YouTube, there's loads of free courses out there. Google have free courses, etc. But you just need to have the mindset in the first place just to get there, and that's probably the one thing linking all of the successful buyers that I've managed to see.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's something we always say is there is no truly passive income. It's not. It's otherwise you would build these and then you would just sit back and watch the money come in.
Yeah,
that's just not how it works. You do have to put in some sort of work. I mean, it might be minimal once you get things running and you can cut your time down, but you do have to put in work up front to get this income coming. So if you buy something and 1 month later don't see some revenue, then you shouldn't be surprised if you've just been sitting on it and maybe put up an Instagram post and expected the world to come to you. If you build it, he will come. It's not doesn't really work. No. Really cool. So I mean, of course, we're talking, I don't know when people are watching this, but right now it's April 3rd in the US, 2020. So we're obviously in the middle of a really unique time in history, really in just 3 weeks the entire world has changed. I'm sure this won't last forever, but it's changed a lot. I know you this certainly has nothing to do with business, but I know you personally were quite affected by the COVID-19 situation. Can you just tell me a bit about what that was like, what you went through?
So the way that visas work in Indonesia is you can get a free visa if you're from anywhere in Europe, or I think this is a lot of countries, US definitely, Canada, Australia, UK. You can just basically turn up in Indonesia and you automatically get a 30-day visa, which is great. And if you want to get another, and it's free, and then if you want to get another free visa, all you need to do is step out the country for a day, come back, and you qualify for another 30 days. So I've sort of been doing that on and off the last year, and my visa had run out, and I just needed to go. And this is when coronavirus was mainstream news. China, Wuhan was in its peak. Every day you're getting all like the stats of all the countries who are increasing. And then I had to leave the country, otherwise my visa would run out. So I had to make the decision, which country do I go to in order to come back? So Singapore, no, not Singapore, blah, blah, blah. Ended up going to Malaysia for no more than 10 hours. So I got there about 9, and I got there at like 11 p.m, came back the next day, like 10 hours later, qualified for the new visa. That's the only reason why I was there. And then 5 days later, I woke up with a fever. I had cold, cough. I was showing all the symptoms. And so phoned a doctor, and they're like, yeah, you need to go to A&E and get checked out, which I did. And then they were straight away like, yeah, we think you've got coronavirus based on the fact of being in Malaysia, which I sort of believed because I had the symptoms, but didn't because I spent so little time in Malaysia. About the same time, it was the international airport, I suppose.
Right.
And they don't have same-day tests at that time. This is a couple of months. How long ago was I in?
It's only a few weeks ago, I think, but it feels
6
like
weeks
months,
ago?
right?
3 weeks ago. Is it 3 weeks ago? Yeah.
Time,
Wow. Okay.
time is doesn't make sense anymore. I know.
No.
3 weeks feels like 3 months.
4 weeks ago. Yeah, correct. Yeah. It was 4 weeks ago this week. And yeah, they didn't have like the same day testing. So I had to stay in isolation for 3 days to get the tests.
Wow.
And they needed to send the tests from where we are in Bali all the way to the capital, Jakarta in Java. And that would take 3 days to get there and to test it. So they put me in isolation in like a government-run hospital, which, to be honest, wasn't too bad. Well, my experience wasn't too bad.
Right.
But unfortunately, when I was there, Bali experienced its first fatality from coronavirus. Who was a British woman in her 50s. So that was a bit unfortunate to hear and see all that whilst I was there, which was a bit unfortunate.
Well, it must be especially frightening while you're in the hospital.
Yeah, in isolation. Yeah, so it's sort of worrying times, definitely. More so because I didn't have any internet, so I couldn't run my business.
Well, we'll get to that later, but we'll see the rest of your story.
And then the doctor came in and said, yeah, you're all good. I think you just got bronchitis. Oh, right, okay. I can go. So yeah, you can just leave. Yeah, okay, fine.
My God.
So yeah, I was relieved that I could leave the hospital because I was going crazy in this small room for 3 days, not being able to leave this room. But I was sort of disappointed that I hadn't had it because I was at a stage where I'd like recovered from whatever I had. I was thinking, I'm feeling really good now. If I had it, that would be it.
Right, you'd be good to go.
Yeah, I've built the immunity for it. So when he said, "Oh no, it's bronchitis," I was like, "Oh," sort of a bit disappointed, really. I thought I built up the immunity for it, but no, I can still get it now. Great.
You can quarantine like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So wow, that's fascinating. So you mentioned the internet situation, and obviously those were just a few days, but I mean the entire world's shifted right now. Like, have you seen an effect in your business?
Yeah, definitely at the beginning of the month. So February was my best month for sales on Flippa by far, almost doubling probably my best month to date at that stage. So sales were brilliant in February, and then it got to March. Just it's like somebody just like hit the switch on the 1st of March and just zero sales for 5-6 days. And I was really concerned, like, why am I not getting any more sales? So I contacted Flippa support and some of the contacts, the other people I have in Flippa, saying, is this across the board? Is this coronavirus? What's going on? And to add to that, I was also contacted by the super sellers. And this was actually when I was featured on the Flippa homepage. So I was expecting to see an increase in sales. And just as that was released, just zero sales came in. Like no bids, nothing was happening. So I was very concerned. Sort of keeping an eye on the news, seeing what was going on. And then I had a response back from Flippa saying, yeah, we've actually seen a slight increase in people who visited the website. It's not looking like it's everyone feeling this pinch. So what I did was thinking, okay, how can I adapt to what's going on? How can I increase my sales again? And definitely there must be something I can do to help the situation. And then I sort of realized that all my products they're all digital. Nothing's physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I was we're self-isolating at home here in Indonesia, and I was Googling, is it safe to get a delivery driver to bring us food? And then, but the title of the article was, is it safe to order food and is it ethical? I was thinking, why ethical? That's an interesting thing to put in the title. And their argument was it wasn't ethical because you're risking somebody's life to go and get your food. I was thinking that must be the case for every single physical product you're ordering online at the moment. So people are like sort of going out there to get the money, but they're also out there, they're intermingling with people. Yeah, they might just be dropping things on doorsteps, etc., but they're not isolating. So just thinking, none of my websites do that. None of my businesses do that. Everything's digital. So I came up with the idea of putting a coronavirus safe income statement at the top of all my listings. And I include it now on all of you might have seen on all of the product descriptions. So I say COVID-19 safe. I say like nothing, that there are no physical products. You can do this from inside your home, blah, blah, blah. And since I did that maybe last week before, the sales have shot back up again.
Really?
Yeah, definitely notice it. So that's sort of at the forefront of my marketing on Flippa, because that will distinguish my stores from your typical drop shipping one. What was I going to say? Yeah. So that's sort of how I've sort of adapted to it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. We obviously, we're talking about it every day at Flippa internally. We strongly believe that they're not us, but the people who use Flippa, the people in this sort of digital industry, should feel rather empowered right now, because essentially every single person who's doing business on Flippa has always been working from home, at least as a side project, if not their main gig. And we're obviously highlighting the fact that people who are stuck at home are either taking pay cuts from their other jobs or whatnot. Like, this is maybe an opportunity, and your types of sites are perfect for somebody who is new to this space, because it's not a major investment. We're not talking about $150,000 to get one of your sites. We're not even talking $10,000. We're talking for a nominal fee. You can get going, and as you said, as long as you got the mindset and you're going to buckle down and do the work, whether it's watching YouTube videos and figuring it out, or you already have the knowledge on how to grow it, people should be flocking to everything that you're making. I've been looking at them myself. I did actually see one that caught my eye. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Which one was that?
I just saw it. I was just flipping. I just saw a travel one because I mostly, it caught my eye because I've done extensive traveling in my life, and I have an obscene amount of content that I've used on other sites that I could probably just back into your little travel ebook and kind of generate some SEO through that. I'm like, I already have like hundreds of thousands of words I can throw into that.
I think that's what having like these template sites. So the majority of my websites are just like one page, one product, one page websites. I think people sort of see them in the same way. They look at it and think, how can I apply what I already have to this? Right. Which is why all of them are like key niches. And the ones I'm expanding into, I already have like a list of another 20, 30 niches I want to go into, to get like a very wide audience before like getting down into like the micro niches, etc. Because I think people are in exactly the same sort of situation. They see a website like the travel one, thinking, "Oh yeah, I can do something with that." Or my other really popular one is the keto diet one. So, the keto diet. Oh yeah, I can do something with that. Or,
because it's such a targetable niche. As you said, the micro niches is where it's at. I mean, I don't know if you watched our we did a sellers webinar last week. I doubt you watched it because you know everything there is to know already. But
I don't think so.
But one of the sites that we were actually, or one of the listings we talked about, it actually ended up just selling a couple of days ago. It was called like toptoenailfungus.com or something like that. But it's like this really weird subject, but it's such a targetable niche that you can just rank for these specific medications or what. I don't know anything about it, but like it was a website that you're like, I don't know what the heck this is, but they're doing really well because you can just target it easily. You know, it's especially with the way that, you know, any sort of the social media targets work and the way SEO works, you're like, all right, I can find the 30 keywords I need to rank for and just hit them hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's part of the key with any of your sites is figuring out, you know, what those keywords are going to be, how you're going to hit it. I know you mentioned a lot of like using influencers and whatnot, which is great with the digital stuff. Because as you mentioned, you know, I worked in consumer goods for a long time, and it's a pain because when you have physical product that you either have to ship or costs a decent amount of money to make, you don't want to just hand it out to everybody who asks for it, because you get people always asking for free stuff. But when you have something digital, it's like, all right, you want it? Sure, help me out. I'll send it to you.
And I always sort of refer to that because I've always had hit and misses using Facebook and Google ads myself. Again, going back to me not enjoying marketing, I don't really, not enthusiastic about it. So when I went to market my mental strengths website this time last year for the first time, I was like, okay, I'm going to try something I haven't done before, which is the influencer marketing. Probably spent 2 or 3 days just doing nothing but watching YouTube videos about how to do it, sort of writing down an action plan and put it all into wrote it all down and went for it. And then I was generating enough money to sort of live off here in Bali, just from free handouts. So I wasn't paying anything for actual advertising, so I wasn't paying anything up front. It was just my time I was putting into it.
Right.
So that's sort of how that's like my like recommended way to market it. Like, I rarely get people asking me how to market them. I think people who buy my websites will already have an idea, but when I do occasionally get asked, that's like my go-to answer. I say, you know, you're buying on my website for a couple $100. You might not have a big marketing spend.
Right.
This is what I recommend doing because it's worked for me in the past. And I think people sort of like the idea of that. Because if you're cash poor, time rich, you can put a lot more time into it, and that is does suck out your time, but again, it can benefit you over the long run. So I think people quite like that.
Oh, and that's why these are great for right now, because, you know, I think the majority of people out there right now, we're cash poor and time rich.
Everyone's got a lot of time on their hands, so you've really got to make the most of it. Because I know 99% of people will probably be out there prefer doing their day job, but to everyone who is stuck at home, you might as well make the most of being at home. And, you know, thank God everyone's got the internet at the moment.
Hey, I can't think of a better way to end this conversation with that lesson. No, you're dead on. We're at home, you know, take an hour away from Netflix and put it towards your business. And, you know,
absolutely.
How much TV can you possibly stream?
I think people are going for records out there. So
exactly. Great, man. Well, thank you very much. It was really intriguing to learn what you do. Like, it is fascinating to me, and I think everyone at Flippa, just to see the guys out there who are kind of just creating businesses out of just sort of building these starter sites and helping other people get started. So it's unique, and I'm glad that businesses caught back up for you, because I think we all, you know, for that first 10 days or so, I think the whole world just didn't know what to think, and we all kind of just stood still and hoped for the best. And once we realized this was going to be a while, we adapted, and now we're moving forward, and it's good.
Good.